The knock came just as my knife cut through the skin of a tomato. 3 firm raps, measured, deliberate, neither rushed nor casual. When I opened the door, the officer waiting there didn't smile. His jaw was locked tight, as though he'd been holding back words too heavy to speak. "Sir," he began. "It's about your wife. She was killed in a car accident an hour ago." I didn't move. The knife was still in my hand, the tang of tomato acid sharp on my fingertips. "That's not possible," I said flatly. "She's upstairs sleeping." His eyes narrowed. He leaned past me, peering into the house. "May I?" I led him up the stairs. My steps fell silently on the carpet while his boots thudded with weight. My chest felt constricted, but I forced my face to remain expressionless. The bedroom door creaked open. She was there, on her side, quilt pulled up to her chin, dark hair fanned across the pillow. Her breathing was deep, steady. The officer froze. His hand moved instinctively toward his holster. "Sir," he said sharply, "step away from her." "That isn't." My throat dried. The air itself felt wrong. I stared at the woman in my bed, suddenly uncertain if I recognized her at all. I stood motionless at the foot of the bed while his weapon remained trained on the body I had always believed was my wife. She stirred. Her eyes blinked open. For a fleeting moment, she smiled, a look of recognition, of intimacy. But when she saw the officer's drawn gun, the smile twisted into something else. Fear. Or guilt. "Sir," the officer's voice hardened. This woman was identified at the accident scene. Same face. Same fingerprints. She is dead. And yet she was sitting upright now, clutching the quilt like a shield. I didn't argue. I didn't protest. Something inside me had already shifted. A quiet realization. The life I'd believed in wasn't the truth at all. The officer backed toward the hall, speaking into his radio. She looked at me, not at him, only me. Her lips parted as if to explain, but nothing came out. What I saw in her eyes wasn't confusion. It was calculation. She wasn't shocked. She wasn't lost. She was cornered. And that was when the first crack split open in my world. The days that followed blurred into silence. She never mentioned that night. No explanations, no apologies, only a faint smile, as if she trusted I wouldn't dare ask. But I did ask, just not with words. I asked with the way I watched her when she thought I wasn't. Her phone became my first clue. Hidden numbers, midnight calls, receipts from hotels I'd never heard of. I stayed silent. Then I remembered the officer's words. Identical fingerprints. Impossible, unless there was someone else. Someone who wore her face. Quietly, I gathered proof. A favor from a friend in the department gave me access to records. I collected DNA, strands of hair, traces of saliva, all without her knowing. And every night she still lay beside me, breathing evenly, her warmth seeping across the quilt. But inside me, warmth no longer existed. I carried only suspicion, sharpened into storm. I imagined scenarios, a twin, an imposter, a double life. Each theory darker than the last. Each one poisoning me further. Still I played the role. I nodded when she spoke, kissed her cheek when she leaned close, pretended the marriage was intact. But I knew. The truth was coming. When the envelope finally arrived, it was plain, unmarked. No ceremony. No warning. At the kitchen counter, I slid it open. My hands were steady, but my heartbeat was not. The results were clear. The DNA confirmed it. She was not my wife. Not the woman whose name appeared on our marriage certificate. Not the woman who had once vowed eternity. A stranger in her skin. That night, when she walked in, I placed the envelope on the table. No words. Just the paper between us. She saw it. Her face drained of color. "You went behind my back," she whispered. I didn't answer. Tears welled in her eyes, but I recognized them now. Not grief, not love. Only desperation. I can explain. Please let me explain. I stayed silent. Silence was the sharpest blade I owned. The next morning, I drove her to the police station. She didn't resist. She cried, begged, made promises she had no right to make. I didn't comfort her. I didn't touch her. I just drove. At the desk, I handed over the envelope. The officer read the pages, his jaw tightening. He understood immediately. She clutched my arm. Don't do this. You don't understand. I did it for us, for you. Her voice cracked, breaking through the mask she had built so carefully. I finally turned to her, met her eyes. My voice was calm, cold. You're not her. That was all. Her knees buckled. Her grip slid from my arm as the officers led her away. She screamed my name, but I knew. It wasn't me she wanted. It was my silence, my compliance, the power she no longer had. Now the house is quiet. The bed is cold. Every evening, I still set the knife against the skin of a tomato, the habit automatic. But the sound of that knock lives in my bones. Sometimes I think of her face, the rehearsed affection, the false warmth. I wonder how long she thought I would never look too closely. But I did. And she's gone. I don't miss her. You cannot miss what was never real. All that remains is clarity. And clarity is sharper than any blade.